The 2020 US Open is here, and now it's time for me to do a preview of the women's draw. Here I'll go over the projected paths of all top 4 seeds, break down the entire draw, then give my prediction here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today. Top seed Karolina Pliskova will play Anna Kalinina in the first round, and afterwards, likely Caroline Garcia. For her remaining projected opponents, Jen Brady is in the third round, with either Alison Riske or Angelique Kerber in the fourth. Petra Martic is the woman in the quarterfinals, and in the semifinal is Naomi Osaka or Petra Kvitova. Lastly, the finals has her set up against Serena or Kenin. Highest ranked American Sofia Kenin opens against Jana Rickmeyer, then afterwards probably Leylah and Fernandez. Ons Jabeur is her projected third round opponent, and in the fourth it's Elise Mertens. The quarterfinals has her playing Sabalenka or Konta. In the semifinals, Kenin could play either Madison Keys or Serena, and in the finals, Karolina Pliskova or Osaka. 6-time champion Serena begins her campaign against fellow American Christy Ahn, possibly followed by Rio gold medalist Monica Puig. 2017 champ Sloane Stephens is Serena's first projected seed, and Maria Sakkari is her second. In the quarterfinals, Williams could meet Madison Keys, and in the semis another American Sofia Kenin. Lastly, in the final match, Pliskova and Osaka are possible opponents. 2018 champion Naomi Osaka will face fellow Japanese woman Masaki Doi in the opening round. Alison van Uytvanck is her projected opponent in the second round, and in the third, Anastasia Sevastova. Anett Kontaveit could be in store for round of 16, followed by Petra Kvitova in the quarters. Naomi may play Karolina Pliskova in the semis, and in the finals Serena or Kenin. Looking at the draw, Pliskova definitely has a possible tricky second round against Caroline Garcia, who played well in Cincinnati. Should she get by the French woman, she'll likely play a tough American in either Cece Bellis or Jennifer Brady. Brady and Bellis are set to play in the second round, and I believe Jen will come through this potential battle. I do think Garcia will defeat Pliskova and then Brady to reach the fourth round. The next mini section is honestly kind of weak because its two top seeds, Riske and Kerber, haven't been making much noise as of late. I do have to give Kerber a pass because she hasn't played since the shutdown, which could hurt her as she didn't have any preparation from Cincinnati. Despite this, I think she has a good chance to at least reach the round of 16 because I don't see many players that could take her down. If Tomljanovic, Rus, and Riske are on, they could, but I don't believe this will happen. On the other side of the quarter, we have another duel section led by Marketa Vondrousova and Yulia Putintseva. 15-year-old Robin Montgomery is also there and will play Yulia in the opening round. I don't think Robin will replicate Coco's success last year because she just doesn't have much experience on the tour, this being her first WTA main draw match. Yulia is my pick to reach the fourth round and possibly even the quarters, as she has a good chance to do so. Petra Martic would likely stand in the way of this because while she hasn't yet played a match on hard, she's head and shoulders above anyone in her section. Martic and Putintseva should be a good one if it happens, and I would pick Petra to move to the quarterfinals. Naomi's quarter is next, and her draw isn't the best. After getting by Doi, she could play talented but streaky Italian Camilla Giorgi. In the third round, she'll most likely play Coco Gauff or Sevastova, which is a popcorn first round match. I think Coco will move ahead to the third round to face Naomi, which should be a really tough one. At their best, Naomi is the better player, so I'm going with her here, but if she's slightly off like she was in Australia, don't be surprised if Coco comes out on top. In the fourth round, I feel that Naomi will face Kontaveit, which would be another tough match as indicated from their Western and Southern Open match. Once again, I'm choosing Osaka to advance. 11 seed Elena Rybakina will most likely play Diana Yastremska in the third round. Yastremska's knee and ankle were problems for her last week, so I picked the Ice Queen to win. 6 seed Petra Kvitova is looking at another rematch with Maria Boskova in the third, but Marie has a tough match on her hands against Jessie Pegula in the first round. I think the winner of this one will face Kvitova in the third, where the two-time major champion will win and face Rybakina in the fourth. Rybakina-Kvitova will be a toss-up for me if it happens, but Petra was in better form at the Western and Southern Open, so I believe she'd outlast Rybakina if they play. If Petra and Naomi play in the quarterfinals, Naomi's hamstring injury will worry me about her chances and whether she'll be able to compete at the highest level. Thus, I'll pick Kvitova to face Garcia in the semis. Now, on the other half is first Serena's quarter, and Madison Keys is at the top of it. Keys could face a challenge in Joe Teichmann in the second round, and maybe Elise Cornet in the third. Keys' form last week was horrible, but she always knows how to elevate her game for the slams, and regardless of the crowd, I think she'll do the same here and will reach the fourth round. Moving down, we have Garbina Muguruza and Donna Vekic. Normally, I'd quickly pick Muguruza to play Keys in the fourth round because she's better than everyone in her section. However, Muguruza hasn't played any of her scheduled events due to an ankle injury. Regardless, I'm still having her play Keys and choose the American to advance to the quarters. Maria Sakkari heads the next mini section and could have a tough second round match against Bernarda Pera. Last week, Sakkari was impressive against Coco Gauff and Putintseva, but her level dropped against Serena and Konta. I still think that this level is good enough to reach the third, but have Amanda Anisimova beat her to reach the fourth round. This is because I think Amanda is trending in the right direction. Analyzing Serena's mini section, she might have a challenging first round against Christy Ahn, especially if Ahn goes on a similar run like she did at last year's Open. Monica Puig also has potential greatness and could rise to the occasion of facing Williams. I don't believe this will happen, so I think Serena will move past her first two matches relatively drama-free and face Sloane Stephens in the third round. Sloane hasn't been playing at her best, but she's been trending up and could definitely peak for the Open. I think this could be her chance to go far in a major again, because she tends to peak against those high-ranked players and definitely has the game to beat Serena. She has a good pack to reach that match, as her first round opponent Michaela Buzarnescu hasn't played a single match since late 2019 due to injury. If Sloane loses this match, something is seriously wrong and expect a video. While I think she'll improve her game, I don't feel confident saying that she'll take out Serena, but it'll be close. I say this because Serena has the champion mentality that will take her to the win should things get tight. After her dismal performance last week, I think Serena will either elevate her game after all the negative talk, or will continue to struggle and perhaps play even worse. I think she will indeed elevate and have her going to the semifinals. In the final quarter, 5th seed Aryna Sabalenka is looking at battling compatriot and Cincinnati champion Victoria Azarenka. I pick Azarenka to move through here to the fourth round, getting past Kudermetova in the third. Konta and Muchova headline the next mini section, but the latter woman has a very tough opening round against Venus Williams. I think Venus will move through because despite her early losses post-shutdown, she's impressed me. In the third round, I have her battling against Jo Konta and give Konta the slight edge. Konta is my pick for not only here, but against Vika in the fourth round because I think she'll make all the necessary corrections from their match a few days ago. Fellow Cincy semi-finalist Elise Mertens resides at the top of the other side, and another Belgian Kim Clijsters could be her third round opponent. Kim though has a tough opening round against talented Russian Alexandrova. Clijsters turned heads at World Team Tennis, but was forced to withdraw from the finals due to an abdominal injury. The same issue kept her out of the top seed Open and Western and Southern Open, and I'm worried she's not fully healed. Therefore, I think Alexandrova will win and face Mertens in the third round. I expect Elise to continue her Cincinnati form into the Open, which is why I have her facing Konta in the quarters. I know I made that quarterfinal pick before even going over Sofia Kenin's section, but I honestly don't even see the American reaching the fourth round. Kenin has the toughest draw out of the 4 seeds, as she could play Leylah Fernandez in the second, then Ons Jabeur in the third. Jabeur is my pick to play Mertens instead of Kenin. For my final prediction, I have Kvitova and Konta reaching the finals, Kvitova winning the title. For me, both are pretty risky picks, especially Petra, because of how on and off her game can be. I do have the feeling that she'll be on here, as she won't have to deal with many of the elements that inhibited her success in New York previous years. Also, unlike other players, even Joe, she has the experience of being in those high pressure situations of winning a major. Discussing Konta, the Brit was very impressive last week, as the faster court conditions suited her well. She also has a decent draw. I honestly was leaning towards Serena to face Petra in the finals, but I'm just not completely confident in her game and mentality at the moment. Though I might have not chosen them to go as far as Petra and Joe, here are some players that I believe can shake things up. Lastly, here are some of my top first round popcorn matches. That's all for my women's preview for the US Open, and let me know your thoughts and whether you agree or disagree with my picks in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever we post updates for this year's US Open. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.